What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to some daily content where today we're going to watch a workout we're going to do with myself, Jake Floen, and the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, Chandler Smith. So Chandler Smith placed 15th at the games this year for his rookie year. And so he's here joining us for, he joined us for like pretty much a full weekend here in Kansas. Worked out with us, which is just an enjoyment to have him, to be honest. I'm not sure what's going to be out first, but I was able to sit down with him and do an interview with him. So if you're interested in learning more about who Chandler Smith is, you know, the fact that he can work with the Army, but yet still work out full time and be a part of like a functional fitness kind of team for the Army. If you're interested in learning more about that, I have an interview I did with him. It should be out when this comes out. We'll figure it out. It'll be on my channel somewhere. Anyways, regardless, let's jump into the workout and see what we're doing. We are off in 3, 2, 1.5, getting it. All right, what are we doing here? We are doing a 12-minute time cap, and we are doing, I believe it's 12 minutes, maybe it's 10 minutes. I think it's a 10-minute time cap, I'm sorry. 10-minute time cap of 30 muscle-ups, okay? 40 strict handstand push-ups, and finally a 200-foot handstand walk. This is a workout that's pretty similar, very similar to the open workout we did. It was at 19.3 or 19.4, whatever one had strict handstand push-ups in it. This is a very gymnastics heavy workout. Chandler, because I've worked out with Chandler for probably a couple years now. When I say work out with him, he's shown up and worked out with me a couple different times during the year usually. And so Chandler is a guy who's, when he first showed up, he was not good at muscle ups, but now I would consider him very, very decent at muscle ups. I'm not decent. I know decent kind of has a negative connotation to it. He's really good at muscle ups. Let me clarify that. He's very solid at them. So, especially, I wish I had a video, especially from where he's come from. When we first started working out together, he showed up probably 2-3 years ago and worked out with me. And his muscle ups, he could do them, don't get me wrong, he could do muscle ups, but they were ugly. They were very, very ugly. And seeing how far he's come, it's just super impressive. Just goes to show, like, if you work really hard at something and practice something, you will become really good at it. And if you watch him now, his muscle ups, they look all the same. I mean, you'll watch, he'll beat me off of the muscle ups. Like, he's really good at muscle ups now, and it's cool to see where he started and how far he's come. Anyways, so a plan of attack for the muscle ups here. Chandler and I had discussed it before, and I told Chandler, and I've said this to you guys probably a couple different times, is the idea of when you put 30 muscle ups in a workout like this, your goal shouldn't be to just come out hot and be like, oh, I'm just gonna crush this, and I'm gonna go out and go unbroken for as many as I can. I say that, but my boy Jake back there, Floen in the back corner, did probably exactly that. I think he started with a set of 10. And so when Chandler and I talked about it, I told him, I said, look, a plan of attack for this kind of workout is just focus on doing sets of 5. There's nothing wrong with doing sets of 5. They'll get you there, and you'll get done, and your heart rate will be very low or lower than if you did a large set. At this point, I'm actually asking Chandler because I lost count. I knew I was doing 6 sets of 5, but I lost count of what set I was on. So I was asking him, hey, do we have one more set left? Because I can't remember. So we have one more set of 5 to finish out our 30. And so my goal for doing 30 muscle ups, if you're doing this concept in a workout, is that you should be able to do 5 muscle ups every 30 seconds for 6 rounds to get you 30, and that'll put you at or around 3 minutes. Which, there you go, 3 minutes. That's always been a goal of mine, to be able to accomplish that. Because it's not necessarily, unless the workout is 30 muscle-ups for time, workouts can be won and lost depending upon how you approach doing large sets of muscle-ups. And if you approach large sets of muscle-ups and you're like, I'm gonna do a large set, sometimes it's not a good idea. Okay, so now we're on to 40 strict handstand push-ups. Approaching this workout, I think I started out with a couple sets of 8, which probably were too large, probably sets were way too large. Now, the difference between this workout and the 19.3 or 4, whatever it was with the gymnastics portion workout with strict handstand push-ups, the difference is, yes, there are 10 less. It doesn't really matter that much. But it ends similarly where we get done with this and have the handstand walk. But the only difference is your shoulders are already fried. Doing a one arm overhead walking lunge with a 50-pound dumbbell really isn't that hard for 200 feet. It's probably not gonna fry your shoulders too much, but it probably definitely won't, considering you had to do 50 box step-ups, which involved 0 shoulders, right? So even if the overhead walking lunge destroyed your shoulders, going off and doing a box step-up allows your shoulders a 2-minute rest at least. All right, sorry guys, so I had a kind of a technical issue. My camera decided to shut off, and I kept talking and no one told me. So anyways, like I was saying, I approached the 40 handstand push-ups a little bit different this time because you've already done a lot of shoulders before. It wasn't like the open where you didn't do a whole lot of shoulders before, or at least you had a rest before it. So you might be looking at this video thinking, okay, well, why are you and Chandler doing strict handstand push-ups and Jake is only doing kipping handstand push-ups, and that's a great question. He's actually doing a kipping deficit handstand push-up. Reason for that being is because last night he did a Metcon with strict handstand push-ups. I did not, he did, and the reason for that being is because he's not very good at strict handstand push-ups, so we're trying to get him prepared for strict handstand push-ups for the open, just the same as you're probably doing too. So anyways, he already did strict handstand push-ups last night. I wasn't gonna make him do strict handstand push-ups the night before, and then the next morning, it was just probably gonna be too much on him. So, and considering it's a really aggressive time cap, we decided to make him do kipping deficit handstand push-ups. And now, that's a great segue into a discussion on scaling. Because he's scaling here, and I have no problem if you scale these workouts like I've mentioned before. So let's talk about ways to scale this workout. If you can do muscle ups, do them. 30 muscle ups, do them. If you're a female, still have 30 muscle ups, do them. If 30 muscle ups is gonna take you more than 4.5 to 5 minutes, then scale the number back accordingly. So if I told you to do 30 muscle ups and you're like, that's gonna take me 6 minutes, then scale it back. Cut back by 5 reps every time until you know I can finish that in 4.5 to 5 minutes. Because you wanna have the intended stimulus where you hit the rest of the workout. I don't want you to do this workout and be like, oh, well, I spent 8 minutes doing muscle ups, then I spent 2 minutes on the wall, and then I was done. Like, it's not the stimulus I want. I want you to hit all of these movements, therefore scale back accordingly. If you cannot do muscle ups at all, so if you're like, oh, I can't do muscle ups at all, that's fine. It's totally cool with that. This is not a workout where you should learn how to do muscle ups in the middle of it. There's never a workout for that. Instead, do scaling options for ring muscle ups. I should have a really good ring muscle up tutorial video in my how-to section of my channel. That'll give you great drills to learn how to do them. I would probably not recommend you do those drills as a substitute for muscle ups. You can. Usually a good substitute is either ring rows or ring dips. In this case, if you're doing 30 muscle ups, I'd probably do like 20 ring rows and 20 ring dips. I don't usually go for a 1-to-1 ratio because then it's just too much at that point. It's just too much volume. That's muscle ups. Handstand push-ups, strict handstand push-ups. They will be in the open, so prepare for them. If you can do strict handstand push-ups, do 40. If you can't do that many, then possibly, maybe say, I'm gonna do 20 regular strict handstand push-ups, and the next 20 I'm gonna do the riser. And what I mean by a riser is you put an ab mat deficit. If handstand push